The internet slowly trickled back on in Iran today after a days-long shutdown by authorities amid protests and unrest that included government-set gasoline prices sharply rising. A week after the gasoline hike, the loosening of the internet shutdown suggests Iran's government believes it has put down the demonstrations that rapidly turned violent, seeing gas stations, banks, and stores burned to the ground. America's top diplomat urged demonstrators to try to send videos documenting the regime's crackdown. Amnesty International said it believes the unrest and the crackdown killed at least 106 people. Iran disputes that number without offering any of its own. A UN office earlier said it feared the unrest may have killed a significant number of people. In Berkeley today, members of the group the Iranian American Community of Northern California rallied to support and raise awareness about the revolt of the Iranian people. Hamid Assimi is the group's communications director.
The big picture is very simple and clear. There is a religious dictatorship that has been oppressing people for the last 40 years. People have come out to take their own destiny in their own hand, and the Iranian regime, that religious dictatorship, is not only killing them, but not allowing them to let the world hear their voice. This is an outrage. It needs to stop. The West, the democratic nations, the democratic-minded people need to be screaming with us right now, not sitting around and just watching what is happening.
According to the National Council of Resistance in Iran, at least 251 people have been killed, 3,700 injured, 7,000 arrested. Sina Saedian is an Iranian UC Berkeley student. He says that since the internet has been shut down in the country, he couldn't get any news from his family there.
We still have not been able to communicate with them. We're hoping everything is well, but as you may know, since protests have broken out around the country last Friday, the government has essentially blacked out the entire country, shutting off all internet, which makes it very difficult for us to communicate. But we're all praying and hoping that everything is all right.
The Iranian American Community of Northern California is connected to the National Council of Iran, an organization led by Mayam Rajavi that's trying to overthrow the Iranian government, promoting and free and democratic Iran in its place. The community's communications director, Azimi, is asking the United Nations and Western countries for support.
Staying quiet is really not an option for anybody in the world. We are basically calling for the United Nations Security Council to condemn this, to take measurable actions against the Iranian regime. And more importantly, that we know that the people of Iran have not come out just for the price of gasoline.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said in a tweet this week that the United States stands with the Iranian people. This morning, the U.S. sanctioned the Iranian Minister of Information over the internet shutdown.